So as a way of beginning this practice of Yoga Nidra, finding a position that will give the body some degree of comfort. So whether that's lying down or sitting or even standing or walking around, noticing if there's any additional support you can give yourself in this moment. Maybe it's an extra prop or a pillow, a blanket. So take the time. And then noticing as you're settling in, if you could think back over the last, say, a year or so, and note or bring to mind or remember any moments, any events, anything that you felt gratitude for. So you might begin in this month just remembering anything that might have occurred or anything that might have come into your life in November that you felt grateful for. And then thinking back to October, was there anything that happened in October that might have evoked these feelings of gratitude? Beginning to notice, perhaps as you remember, how the feeling of gratitude has a location in the body. And locating any event or activity or a person or a pet, something that you might have felt grateful for in September. And perhaps in August, any moments of gratitude in August. As you continue to explore these feelings of gratitude, perhaps noting their location and beginning to note any qualities these sensations might have, a softness, a heaviness or lightness. What does gratitude feel like? And then thinking back and remembering July and June together. Anything that might evoke gratitude from those summer months. Noticing perhaps how the feeling of gratitude in the body is changing moment to moment as you continue to explore this sensation. And remembering back to May and April, was there anything, anyone, any event, maybe a meal, just the perfection of the weather on a single day, or anything at all that evokes this feeling of gratitude in May and April? Noticing how it feels in the body right now. And then remembering March and February and January. Just all the way back to the beginning of the year. Is there something in those early months of this year that you might feel especially grateful for in this moment? And how does gratitude feel now? So out of all of these memories or events or people or things, there might be one or even two or three that stand out. So just make note of those. We'll revisit those later. And noticing as we move forward into the practice, just what your environment is, the sounds coming to you, the feeling of the air touching your skin. All the places the body is touching, whatever the support is rising up to meet you. All these sensations together. You might notice how they point to this fact of your aliveness. And there might be something else, a humming, a sparkling, the feeling of the heart beating in the chest, some process of digestion or even the breath. How does it feel right now just to be alive? This feeling of life that connects all of us, everything, that moves through us and moves us through our lives. What is it that life, this life force, is asking of you? Is there some driving intention in your life, something that you want? Perhaps the way that you want to have lived your life when you look back in some far distant moment when you're looking back at your life. What qualities feel most important to you? Maybe it's just to live a kind and compassionate life. What does that feel like? If that were already the case, already accomplished, what would that feel like right now? And is there some intention that might be speaking to you out of this larger life's intention? Maybe it's just what you'd like to get out of this practice, how you'd like to feel as a result of the practice. Or maybe there's something a little bit more long-term over the next day or week. Could you state it as a fact already the case? in the present tense, in the affirmative, and feel how the whole body can affirm this intention, every cell. And right now, as we've been exploring gratitude and the feeling of aliveness and this larger life's intention and a more immediate intention, just right now, are there any feelings of ease present for you? Perhaps it's a feeling of settledness or ground, or a feeling of everything is, in this moment, everything is okay. Nothing wrong. Perhaps there's a feeling of deep peacefulness. But whatever's here, notice how it feels in the body where it's located. Maybe it's just a fingertip. And the tip of the nose feels easeful. An arm, a leg. It could be there's a memory that really helps to evoke feelings of ease, or a place in nature. You could invite in that memory, the idea of that place, the image. How do you feel when you're there? How does the body feel when you're someplace where you feel safe, secure? And so we can build this inner refuge for ourselves, always returning to the somatic sense, the felt sense. How does ease and peace, how does okayness feel in the body for you right now? What's your first-hand experience? So you might spend the whole practice here, just nourishing this. Or you could carry it with you into an exploration of the body, just the sensation. And you'll hear me naming body parts, and just notice as your words become my words and my words become your words, what that body part feels like. So noticing just the feeling of the mouth, the lower jaw, the upper jaw, the teeth, the gums, what's the feeling of the tongue? What's your first-hand experience of the inside of the mouth? Cheeks, roof of the mouth, lower palate. The whole mouth, just the sensation of it. And from deep inside the mouth, letting attention explore out into the inner ear canals, these long hallways of sensation from deep inside the head out to the outer ears. What's your firsthand experience of the inner ears? Noticing the sensation of the outer ears, left and right. And then noticing the nose, the feeling of air moving in the nostrils, the feeling of the whole structure of the nose. And noticing the eyes, the bony structure around the eyes, the cheekbones, eyebrows, temples. And the eyes themselves, left and right. Welcoming the sensation of the forehead, and the whole scalp. The whole scalp. And attention flowing down into the neck, the back of the neck, sides of the neck, front of the neck, and the throat, inside of the throat. And then noticing shoulders, that space between the neck and the shoulder joint. What sensation comes to you from the shoulders? And attention flowing down the arms into the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands. Sensing both hands. What is your first-hand experience of the hands? And welcoming both arms, the shoulder joints, and from the shoulder joints, traveling inside the chest and the upper back, and sensing from inside the front of the chest, back of the breastbone, rib cage, and inside the upper back. Sensing the whole rib cage. And following the sensation into the abdomen. And from inside, feeling the front of the abdomen. And the back of the abdomen, the middle and low back. Sensing the whole abdomen, front and back, inside, outside. And then exploring with attention the pelvis. From inside, sensing the front of the pelvis, the back of the pelvis, the whole pelvis. The whole torso. What's your first-hand experience of the torso? And attention flowing into the hips and legs, the upper legs, the knees, the lower legs, the feet. And attention broadening now. Let the lens widen. Could you explore with attention the whole body feeling? Both legs, both arms, the torso, the neck, the head, simultaneously the whole body. And as you sense the whole body, just sensation, do you begin to notice the breath coming and going? So attending now to the sensation of the breath. And as we do, there might be an impulse to change or fix the breath or have the breath be a particular way, a particular rhythm. So we can notice that. But might you just see how it is to welcome the breath just as it is? Just the pure sensation of the movement of the ribs, the diaphragm, the abdomen, maybe the chest. And then if it feels right, you could just begin to count the breath, where one inhale and one exhale are one count. And you might count down from 7. So counting one inhale and one exhale, starting there at 7, and then the next inhale and exhale are 6, and so on. And just counting down, attending to the breath. And if you reach 1, then you can start again. And if you lose track, you can begin again at 7. Counting the breath. And then letting go of the counting and just resting back in the natural breath once again. If it feels right, you might even invite in that feeling of an inner refuge. Or note if any sensations of ease are present. And by, a feeling or an emotion or thought might arise, might ask to be seen. And if that's the case, then just noticing, does that feeling or thought or emotion, does it have any sensation in the body that seems to arise with it? Could it be true that feelings, thoughts, emotions are sensation? So just exploring lightly any sensations that might be arising with whatever thoughts, feelings, emotions are present. And then whatever's here right now, whatever is arising in this field of attention, this field of awareness, could you deliberately invite in that feeling of an inner refuge, an inner sanctuary? Maybe it means calling to mind that memory or image and using that to help you locate the sensation in the body. And so we do this not as a way to get rid of the feeling or emotion or thought that's present, but just as a way to interweave them together. Is it possible for both to be present at the same time? Both the feeling, thought, emotion as sensation in the body, and this felt sense of okayness or peace or ease. How is that for you? And then just letting that whole project go. Letting go of trying to do anything in particular. Resting back with whatever's present right now. You might even note that there's something here that's aware of everything that you've been experiencing. Something here that's distinct from the experience and even distinct from attention. And then recalling the event or people or objects that you might have noted earlier that you felt gratitude for. Something that's felt especially wonderful, helpful, joyful in the past year. And could you welcome that memory or object in, and as you do, could you welcome in gratitude as well? Noticing how gratitude has a sensation in the body, how it has a location, a quality, maybe a shape. There might even be a color associated with it, or there could be smells or tastes that arise along with this memory of the event or the person, or just the pure feeling of gratitude. And as you stay with this sensation of gratitude, noticing all its qualities, you might just let the memory or the image just fall away. And see how it is to be with gratitude as sensation. It's possible that dwelling in the heart of gratitude in this way could bring you back to that feeling of your life's deep calling or purpose. What does your heart yearn for? And how does it feel now as we move towards completion in this practice? As you reflect back on the practice, we explored gratitude and the body feeling and breath, and how thoughts, emotions, feelings, how they have a location in the body as sensation. And we dove deep into gratitude and the inner refuge. Is there anything that feels important to acknowledge? Maybe an insight, or there could be a new intention you wish to state to yourself now. And whisper it down into you. Let every cell participate in this affirmation. Notice how the body feels as you do. And is there a whisper still of the inner refuge? Is it remembering itself to you now? Feelings of ease or well-being, okayness. Just this feeling that right now things are okay. So as you start to come back into this moment, this place, before you move on, could you let the eyes open and close and just see, does that inner refuge, can it be present while the eyes are open? Can you sense in the body feelings of comfort, security, peace, whether the eyes are open or closed? As the body begins to move, is it still there? And might you carry this into the rest of your day, your evening, your week? Perhaps as you're going to bed tonight, as you're beginning to close your eyes, could you bring it into the foreground? Beginning to weave it into your life. Thank you for taking the time for this practice today.